right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Hold on. The picture just looks funny to me. But yeah, the last part of Norman Sturm. I'm gonna do the HuffPost one after this. There was another Norm. Oh, was it Tom Green? Yeah. Yeah. But I'll do the HuffPost one after this. But yeah, finishing off the Howard Stern ones. Let's go.
Still very quick.
Yeah.
He was a genuine character. I know guys who went into meetings with him about a movie.
Yeah.
He'd show up late in a bathrobe with his balls hanging out.
Yeah.
And like legendary stories of it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
talk about not giving a fuck. You
balls.
worship that. You want to be that guy
It
who
was the
doesn't give a
greatest.
fuck, right?
I met Rodney, man, when I was fucking. I made the worst mistake ever, which I was in the fucking hotel, and I loved Rodney and shit. I didn't know him, and I was coming down in the casino. I was coming down the fucking elevator, and Rodney was in the elevator. I'm like, oh my god, it's Rodney. I gotta say something to him. So, anyways, I'd worked on some stupid fucking thing with this director.
Yeah.
Who said he worked with Rodney.
Yeah.
So I used that as a thing, right? So I go, hey, Rodney. I go, we have a common friend. He goes, who's that? I go, Paul Johnson. He goes, that cocksucker. He goes, that fucker's no friend. And there's a full elevator. That fucker's no friend of mine. You tell him he can suck my dick. I'm like, oh, I'm not his friend. I'm not his friend.
And you hear these stories that Rodney was sort of a bitter guy because he made it late in life and all that. But yet he was a sweet guy because
he helped everybody.
I mean, he did something for me that I'll never forget. Like I appeared on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno back when I would work with that scumbag.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking. He's a great guy. Anyway, I went on the Tonight Show and Rodney called me at my house. Now I didn't know Rodney, and he just says, "Hey, Howard, I just want to tell you, when I used to do shows, no one ever called me. No one ever said I did good. I knew what you were doing up there. You were great. You were doing a great job."
Cool.
And I was like, wow, Rodney Dangerous. I mean, because he's the guy. If he thinks you did okay, I must have done okay.
Yeah.
So what a tremendous, nice thing to do for somebody.
Unbelievable. Well, I met him on Saturday Night Live because he came and did, when I did Update, he came and did some jokes on his 75th birthday. So we have to do dress first at 8:30 and then at 11:30 the show,
Right.
So he comes and he's like, hey, Norm, I got to fucking talk to you, So I go in and I'm like, Mr. Dangerfield, it's great to meet you. That's the first time I ever met him. He goes, listen, man. He goes, what the fuck, man? Why am I doing it at 8:30? I know my fucking jokes. I'll just come back at 11:30. I go, I don't know how it works, Rodney. You got to do it. He goes, God damn. He goes, let me tell you something, kid. This was his advice to me.
Kid.
He goes, let me tell you something, kid. He goes, this fucking TV shit, He goes, this waiting around all the fucking time. It's a bunch of all shit, It's shit. He goes, it's the same with fucking movies, You're in the movie, and then you're in the fucking trailer all the time. That's all you're doing is fucking jerking off in the trailer, He goes, it's all shit, kid. He goes, remember this and remember it. Remember it forever. Stand up, man. That's all there is. Stand up.
And he meant it.
Then there's a fucking 5-minute pause. He's looking me right in the eyes. He goes, stand up, shit.
I forgot. It's all shit. Negative guy. Yeah, it's just great, though. What a funny man. Just naturally funny man. Is it true that, was Richard Pryor a huge hero of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Was his last television appearance on The Norm Show?
Yeah.
You're
Fuck.
kidding.
Oh, wow.
It was like this show I had with Artie,
Yeah, sure.
And so we get fucking Richard Pryor, and I'm like, God damn, this will be cool. Because I had seen him like at the Comedy Store, and he was still funny, even though he had the MS or whatever it was.
Sure, yeah.
And I remember watching him, and he was fucking funny. He was like, people say, Richie got the AIDS. Anyways, he said he was watching TV one time, right?
Yeah.
Because he had MS, and he was lying in the thing. He said, and I looked up on the TV, and the man said, Richard got the AIDS. And then I said, maybe I do got the AIDS. So I got the doctor, and I said, Doc, sure I got the AIDS. But it was all funny and shit. So that's how I remember him. But then when I did the show and I had him, now he was in late stages.
Right.
He's in a fucking wheelchair and there's fucking spit shit coming out of his mouth and he can't talk and shit like that.
Sad, right?
So then I'm like, fuck, this was a big mistake,
Right.
And so he can't get his words out and shit. And I'm like, let's just abandon this. They go, no, Richie wants to do it, And like they could tell, he's like,
he's emulsified.
So then his wife fucking comes up to me and goes, listen, man, Richie's real nervous, Goes, could you go up and like tell him you love him, like kiss him, you know, like he likes physical affection, you know.
He
So
went to the right guy.
Man,
I said, no, I'll do it. Like, it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I grew up, he was like the greatest ever. So I go up to him and I hug him. I go, Richie, man, you're the greatest guy ever, you know. It'll be hilarious. And I like kiss him on the cheek. I go, I love you, you know. Then fucking like a half hour later, his buddy comes over and goes, hey, Richie thinks you're a fag.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
So here's my comedy hero thinks I'm a fag now.
What are you coming on to him? Oh, my God, it's so great.
Stupid fucking wife.
Like
Who you
physical
grew up
attention
like?
from her.
Well, geez, you know, I'm a Soupy Sales was when I was a
yeah,
real little
yeah.
kid. I thought Soupy Sales was the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever, and I loved the Three Stooges. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
of course,
I loved all of that. You know,
Johnny
I loved
Knoxville's doing that.
Don Rickles was God to me, and when
You had him in here, right?
I had him in here, I was so thrilled, and that. You know, he also said when I did Letterman the last time, I did a good job, and I was just like, oh, you know,
He
Don
phoned you?
Rickles. Yeah, no, he didn't. He wrote me a note. It was very, very nice.
That's
Did you get a
cool.
note? Because Stamos was kind of blocking you for a while there.
I think Stamos was forcing him to write the note, quite frankly. He knew how important it was to me. But yeah, I mean, you know.
Stamos gets to be his buddy. Fucking shit.
Yeah, huh?
Like
How
I
do
always.
you work that?
Yeah, you know, shouldn't we be Don Rickles' buddy?
Yes. How do I work that? God damn, I never get. I hang out with Kevin.
How do you hang out with Kevin Farley? How do you guys even like? How did you guys
Well,
become?
me and Chris were big buddies, you know. And then when I did Dirty Work, I put Kevin
I have
and.
a Don Rickles Dirty Works.
Oh yeah.
You have a Don, the Don
That
Rickles.
was funny.
Yeah,
First time I met Don Rickles, I was in awe, and I was working on Dirty Work.
right. That's
And-
one of the greatest.
And I said I worked hanging out with him all day, and he was telling Sinatra stories and all that stuff.
Oh, let
I
me
thought
tell the
that was
Sinatra
great.
story first.
Okay, go ahead.
So fucking Sinatra was dying, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's like, "Fuck, we can't bring up Sinatra," you know, because you know Rickles and Sinatra are pretty close.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but finally, I said, "I'm gonna fucking ask him like at lunch, you know, how Frank's doing." You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I go, listen, Don, man, I don't want to bum you out or anything, but you know, because he was on his deathbed and everything. I go,
Right.
have you seen Frank? He goes, yeah, I saw him last week. It was a lot of this.
Coming out of his mouth.
And then he goes, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of me 2 inches from his face going, I'm not Barbara. So I'm like, this guy's
So he wasn't
fucking-
that emotional about
Yeah,
it.
this guy is fucking real. He's-
Right. So you.
Well, so then-
I was
But Norm is just real from his Richard Pryor story, how he told that. What did he say? Oh, he really wants to be in it, like they could tell. Yeah, that's a pretty real ass line.
awe of Don Rickles, and at the end of the day, I got wrapped, and I'm leaving the show. And I went up to him and I go, Mr. Rickles, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Kevin Farley, and boy, I tell you, I'm just, you know, kind of new to show business, and just being around you, and you know, it was just an honor of my life. And he goes, get out of here, you fag.
Yeah, you big crybaby. What's the matter with you? Were you and Chris on the same Saturday Night Live years? I don't
Yeah,
remember
we
who
were.
was.
We were.
You were.
Yeah. Me,
And,
Chris, and Sandler.
and that's how you got to know Kevin. You would hang
That's
out with all
right.
the guys.
Hang
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
always hanging around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was good friends with the three funny brothers, you know, and one other guy.
I still have a hard time watching these Saturday Night Live retrospectives, and when they get up to Chris, because Chris was so fun. And I see it, I get really sad.
Yeah.
You know,
never
Chris always wanted to be on this
He
show. He's
did.
scared.
He
Why
was.
was he
We'd always talk
scared?
because I'd come on the show. I'd go, Chris, you gotta go on the show, man.
Oh, would have been great.
It
Yeah,
would have been.
yeah.
It would have been. I wish he would have. I don't know. He was scared. He was nervous. He was a shy, really guy. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. He was pretty shy.
I know. I can't believe. You know, I guess I could believe this, but that he didn't find himself funny. Like that was his major
He would say
problem.
to me, he'd go,
yeah.
Belushi. I go, listen, man, I didn't know Belushi, but I think you're way the fuck funnier than Belushi. And especially in real life, Belushi seemed like a grim, like
Right.
fucking angry guy. You know what I
And
mean?
Chris wasn't like that.
Chris was-
no, he was. Yeah.
Chris,
shy,
seriously,
no.
I swear to God, he can make smart guys laugh, dumb guys laugh, people that didn't like him laugh.
But he never felt funny.
No.
Yeah, I
And
don't
yet he
think
went
so.
into comedy.
And he
Yeah,
would make
he had-
everyone,
we had-
everywhere he went, he
Yeah.
would just, if you heard laughter, it was fucking Chris.
But that must have been some pressure on him. Everywhere he went, he had to make everyone laugh. Like,
Yeah, he had a lot of these guys coming up to him and backslapping him and offering him all kinds of drinks and stuff. And
yeah.
yeah, because he couldn't say no to anybody. You know, he was
No.
always just
Kevin doesn't have that curse.
You're lucky.
Thank God. I know a big guy.
Oh, man. Well, listen.
I don't have that curse of being. You're lucky you're not funny.
Yeah, you're lucky nobody sits in there and laughs at you and all that shit.
Nobody
It's too much
slaps you on the
pressure.
back and wants to
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
things.
You don't want stardom.
So is Norm has
he
Norm's
helping?
has his lessons helped you, or do you think is it getting are you getting
I
nowhere
look at
with
his
it?
style, and because he goes on, and I watch.
He's very relaxed.
Very relaxed, right?
Yes.
And I watch him, and it's like watching a pro. You
Right.
know, you've been around doing it for a long time, and I got to go to. We went through Canada together.
Yeah.
We went through all these places. God, it was
Because he's
unbelievable.
teaching. Do you ever find yourself doing an impression of Norm
I
subconsciously?
haven't taught him how to do anecdotes yet.
Oh, he's almost up to that.
What is he up to?
But do you ever get like, all of a sudden you get into that?
I start going, hi, how are you, everybody? I'm Norm Macdonald. No.
So it's fun. At least you guys get to travel around together and you get to buddy up. And do you share a hotel room? Do you ever see each other naked or anything weird like that?
No, you know what I do? Because people are so fucking okay with gay people.
Right.
You know?
You're not
Is
okay.
that
Are you
horrible or
uncomfortable
what?
around gay people?
No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm the fucking least. I'm fascinated with fucking gay people. Like,
Right.
whenever I get a haircut guy, I had a haircut guy on this last thing that was a gay guy.
Haircut
How
guy.
the fuck? Who decides who gets fucked in the ass and who doesn't?
What do you
That
say?
to me, if I was, I want to be
You'd
the
want
guy
to know,
fucking.
yes.
Sure. You want to be the man.
It's like a sadomasochistic relationship. I would pick the sado part.
Yeah, right. Always go with the sado.
But so I asked this guy. I said, "Fuck, how the fuck do you decide who fucks who in the ass?" And he said, "It's like a fucking." He said it's like two elks. Like because he said he had this relationship with this guy, and they were fighting, and then they got in a big fight and everything, and then he had the upper control, so he got to fuck the guy in the ass. And then so he said the relationship would constantly change depending on who had the upper hand, kind of.
Right.
But
It
anyways,
shifts.
I'm fascinated by it.
You work out for a year, then you get to fuck the guy in the ass.
Yeah. And they're hilarious.
And you like the whole
You
gay
gotta
scene.
go into
And you're for gay
training.
marriage? Of course.
When I was a kid,
why
I
not?
said it. I fucking couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
Live and
You're
let
ahead of
live.
your
But
time.
people
That's
do
right.
think like
You were always a progressive thinker.
But what I do is.
Are you
'cause
friends
people-
with any gay
what
people?
I'm saying is a lot of them.
If
yeah, but-
Kevin was gay, could you travel with him and be in the same room with
Yeah,
him? You
of
could.
course.
Okay, all right. No
But
problem.
But I'm not.
But people pretend to be fucking cool with it, you know? Like, I was at this thing, it was all these fucking guys, like, I don't know what the fuck it was. Like,
You were
who's that
gambling.
guy?
Go
Who's
ahead,
that
yeah.
guy?
You were at a poker
Alan
game.
Brady? Who's that
Yeah.
guy? Fucking Rob Reiners and all these fucking guys. So they're all around, you know?
Yeah.
Rob
So I-
Reiner's around.
It's just a bunch of celebrities, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Liberal types.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're all fucking. But
They're
listen,
okay with
when
that.
when I have my buddy with me, and I go, "This is my lover and best friend," there's a little edginess.
Everyone gets a little weirded
Yeah,
out.
everybody gets weirded out. I'm like, what?
Norm, I'm excited that you're coming back to television. Now,
You are?
maybe you're not, but I
I'm
am.
excited to be here, man.
I'm excited
Wait
to
a
have
minute,
you.
this is really a sports show. What are we talking about?
All right,
here?
here's the deal.
This is what it is. It's like, remember Weekend Update?
Yes.
So that's what it is, except we're doing sports.
Okay.
Now, I'm a guy who doesn't know a lot about sports. Can I watch the show?
Fucking absolutely, man. When they test it, they test it.
Yeah.
Fucking broads, fags, everybody likes this shit.
You're very comfortable. Now, how long is the show? A half hour or an hour?
Half hour every week, man.
Jam-packed with funny,
It's
you.
gonna be.
You got video.
You got writers, too?
Yeah.
Or do you write most of the material yourself? You got to have some writers.
Me and the guys I wrote Weekend Update with are the big writers of
Yeah.
the show. But we got other guys too.
I don't want to jinx this. I want this to go on for years, but you normally get canned. What's your prediction on this? Are you gonna
But
last?
this is why I get canned. I mean, because I everything I've done other than Weekend Update, it was fucking right that they canned me because I can't fucking act.
But this is your thing now. Right. This is
Did I
your
ever
thing.
tell you the time I went to fucking, this guy Milos Foreman.
Yeah, he's a big director.
So he saw me on Saturday Night Live, so he got the idea I was smart.
I always thought that.
Everybody always thought that.
Because I'm reading the news and shit like that. So he's come to we go out to eat at Nobu and such shit, right? And so I go with him. So it's me, him, and two guys from two foreigners.
Right.
And so these guys know everything, you know? And so they're like, what about the situation in the Balkans or something like that?
Yeah, you're the newsman.
So I'm just sitting there like a retard. They know everything, right?
Right. They're concerned.
Yeah.
Right.
So he thought, and I just kind of play along like by repeating what they'd said 3 sentences ago.
Right, yeah.
And so anyways, he goes, I put you in the movie, man. I need a guy to, and he was going to give me a big part.
Right.
So I was like, no, don't do that. Like, I can't act. And he's like, don't worry about it. I go, seriously, Milos, I don't want you to give me a big part. So he's like, what do you want? I go, just give me a small part. That'd be cool. So he made me a reporter, right, in this People versus Larry Flynt.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I played one of the people.
Right.
So
Originally, I think it sounds like you were about to be Larry Flynt. Right.
Yeah.
Damn, Larry Flynt.
I have stories about that fucker
Right.
too.
Yeah.
But we go to we do the movie, right? And I'm a reporter, you know. So he goes, you drive up and get out of the car and run in. I go, well, I can't drive. He goes, oh. So he goes, okay, a cab will drive you. So it doesn't make sense. Like a reporter's in a cab. So I get to so we do the scene. It's me and Larry Flynt, you know, me and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
So. He has all these cameras. He goes, okay, he goes, you don't have to worry too much about the script. Just, he's a really cool guy. And he goes, just whenever you're ready, do it, So then, anyways, Woody Harrelson's really cool. And fucking actors, man, when they're really good, it's like something different.
Right.
And because I'm just waiting for the other fucker to stop talking. God, I remember
You're
my
not even
lines.
paying attention.
No, I'm just hoping to remember my words. So, anyways, fucking what's his name? Woody Harrelson asked me if I want a beer.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "You want a beer?" I go, "No, it's cool. I don't drink." He goes, "You don't want a beer?" I go, "No, I don't drink, but thanks, man." And then I go, "You drink? Like, I thought you just smoked weed and all that shit." And then all of a sudden, Milos Forman goes, "Cut! What the fuck is going on?" Like we were in the movie.
You didn't know.
No.
You thought he's talking to you.
He's looking at me and talking like a regular person.
Oy
There was nothing fake about it.
You got caught up in the movie.
He was such a good actor.
Right.
You didn't they yell action? There was nothing to
No, he doesn't
Well.
say
He
that.
doesn't do that.
And then later,
Did you ever meet the real?
That is legendary. You want a beer? Oh, what you smoke? I thought you just smoked. But he's talking to Woody Harrelson. But yeah, that's acting, Norm. There's no fake shit about it. That's like the whole point. Norm is a legend. But I've been well enjoying these stories of, because Rodney Dangerfield, I said before, he's not known here really, but he's known through American TV and, do you know what I mean? People do impressions of, so we do have an understanding of who Rodney Dangerfield is. And Don Rickles, again, a lot of the American comedians talk about Don Rickles. I think we did him on Dean Martin's. But hearing all these stories of them sort of people is, fascinating. Norm's got some great stories. And he's got a story of, I guess, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's all right as well. I watched him. Was it on Joe Rogan? I actually thought, he's like but hold on 2 secs. Yeah, let's finish this off. Let's go.
later,
Oh, yeah.
I met the real Larry Flynt.
What was that like?
Oh my God! He was at the fucking. It was this dinner where you talk in front of the president or some fucking thing where you're a comedian and the president's standing beside you.
Yeah.
So I was the president. I was the comedian.
That's the president.
The president was president. Anyway, so whatever. Larry Flynt is there, right? So he fucking meets me afterwards in the hallway, and he goes,
Because you don't understand
what the fuck? And I'm uncomfortable with anybody. Yeah, I get uncomfortable with people that have afflictions.
That's
and
the
shit.
one problem you have. You can't deal with afflictions.
I get nervous, and I look close to them, and then I hope they can't see the horror in my eyes.
I want to know how Larry Flynt got that close to the president. Yeah, but go
He
ahead.
was like, because every year they have a kind of a joke guy, I guess.
Right.
So he's like, so I have to get close to him. What what? And he goes, when you're in L.A., you ever get to L.A.? So I go, yeah, I get to L.A. He goes, I'll take care of you.
Wow.
Thank you.
So then I was thinking in my head, like normally if a guy says, like, for instance, if my Uncle Basil said, hey, come to the Ottawa Valley, I'll take care of you, that'd mean he'd make you a nice mincemeat pie or something like that.
Right.
This, I had a feeling was...
He's going to fuck you.
I think maybe he would have fucked me.
I'm going to put it in your ass there, Norm.
No, he's
I'm going
not
to wrestle
dead.
you and get
He's
on
the
top.
straightest guy in the
No,
world.
get in my lap. I'm going to have you ride around in my chair with me.
No, he's the straightest guy in the world.
I
What
know.
I think it would mean is I'd be with some hot lady, and then all of a sudden he'd come in his wheelchair whacking off.
Listen, Norm, you're the best. Kevin, I'm glad you came in today. It was great to see you. I wish you luck, first of all, with your stand-up career. I hope
Yeah.
Norm puts you in his new
I hope
TV
he's
show.
a good teacher.
Let's hope Norm knows what he's doing when he's
Yeah.
teaching. You know, he's known to just fuck
He
you
could
up.
be just pranking you.
He
You
could be,
never
he'd be
know.
goofing on it. You don't know with him.
I'm well aware of that.
You still gambling a lot? You host a show. You have a show that's successful. It's that gambling show, right?
Yeah, I do a poker show.
Yeah, that's going into its what, 7th season?
Fuck, I don't know.
Who knows? You don't care. Watch sports show.
I'm fucking tweeting, baby.
Go ahead. What are you
Yes,
writing? What are you
he's
writing? What are you writing? You're
What?
always so witty on that Twitter. What do you
No,
got?
I'm just tweeting real things.
What do you say?
This is what I tweeted moments ago. Hey, I'm about to do Stern. This is right before.
Perfect.
Always good to see the king, plus the founder of Twitter, Biz Stone. And then right before I came in, just met Biz, the king of Twitter, and now the king of all media. Let's do it!
Man, you know just what to say. You were born for Twitter. Watch sports show with Norm Macdonald. Everybody. You love Norm. You know it's going to be good. He's doing what he does best. He's doing his weekend update thing, except with sports on Comedy Central.
All right.
And go see Norm and Kevin when they were around Kevin Farley. He's now opening for Norm and is his student, if you can imagine. And look at his teacher. It's fantastic. I love you guys, and I'm glad you came by, Norm.
I miss you so much,
Miss you too, man.
Yeah.
I feel I have a connection with you now on Twitter. I follow you, and at least I get to hear from you now.
Yeah,
once
how
in a
do we,
while.
can we talk to, I don't know how to do it. But
We
I'll
can
find
direct
out.
message
Oh, you
each
mean
other.
on Twitter?
What?
We can direct message each other.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to find out how to do that.
Learn
shit.
that. shit.
It's about time you learned another function.
The great
This is what a
Norm
guy
Macdonald.
told me, by the way.
Right.
What?
That guy that was an expert. He said, make your Twitters 70 characters so they can be double retweeted and commented on.
That's the secret I've been waiting for.
And have you
there's
done
a,
that?
there's a
No.
little tip.
He's not doing that.
I was trying to make him exactly 140 as close
It's
to
like haiku. All right, listen.
I'm going to direct message you, man.
Please
What do I do? Can I say to all my followers, follow Howard Stern?
Yes, you can.
And
can
you
Sure.
say
do that.
to
And
my,
I will say it to yours as well.
when are you going to do that?
I'm going to do that as soon as I get home today. I am. I really am.
If you don't, I'll fucking direct message you.
I have nothing to say.
That's a sentence I never thought I'd ever hear Norm say. I'll direct message you. It's not even called that. What do they call it? Oh, there it is. DM. I'll DM you. Yeah, direct message. But you don't say direct message. Like, that's proper, like, that's like what my mum would say. Trying to be hip. I'll direct message you. Okay, mum. Yeah, okay, Norm. But that's, yeah, I never thought I'd hear Norm say that.
There, so I will have something to say now. I'm looking forward to tweeting. What do you have, an
Awesome.
iPhone there, over there?
What?
What is that, an iPhone?
No, but you
No,
know
that's
what?
a
I'll be
BlackBerry,
honest
right?
with you. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting a fucking iPhone
I got
because
it.
I don't
Yeah,
want to.
I
I don't
do.
want to slam anything, but these fuckers are complicated. These Blackberries.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're going to have a fun time with your iPhone when you try to type on that. All right, listen, Norm, Kevin.
It's hard to type on because of the touchscreen.
That's
Yeah,
right. But I'm
yeah.
doing it. I'm doing it. Do you
You
know how to
figured
type?
it
Did you ever
out?
take typing lessons?
Yeah.
When you were in high
lessons?
school?
Easy.
When I was, I'm an old fella.
I type.
And when I was a typer, that was
They
for
had real-
secretary.
When I was a
Right.
typer.
My dad said to me,
Machines,
my
yeah.
dad said to me,
Yeah.
you learn how to type.
Yeah.
He
He
says, he
thought-
goes, if even you're a big dummy, you
Yeah.
could always get a job typing.
I
He
did
thought
not.
Howard
man.
was going to be a
He
secretary.
thought I
Typing
he was
on.
preparing me to be a secretary.
Yeah.
That
What
was
about my dad when I watched The Twilight Zone?
What?
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 All right,
No,
next
you
time.
ever see The Twilight Zone?
Yes.
Of course.
Honest to God, man. Like, I loved that show.
Me
when I was a
too.
kid. But my dad, he hated anything fantastical.
Right.
Like, he'd only watch the news.
He wanted reality.
Yeah, anything
Yeah, right.
weird, right? And plus, he always wanted us to be go doing the chores and work, and he didn't want us watching.
He must have been thrilled when you
Well,
said you're
you
going to be.
live on a farm?
He must have been
What's
thrilled when you
I
said
did.
you were going to be a comedian. You lived on a farm?
Yeah, it
Huh.
But anyways, we're watching The Twilight Zone when I was a kid, me and my brother, and he hated that show more than anything. And we're both watching it, and my father walks by, ruined The Twilight Zone for life for me by saying this.
Right.
There was characters in The Twilight Zone, and he just pointed to one of the guys, and he said, I suppose this one's a goddamn ghost.
Listen, watch that. Wait. I'm going to see about it. Hold it. Watch Sports Show with Norm Macdonald on Comedy Central, and go see Kevin Farley when he appears with Norm all over the country as they do their stand-up. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Norm.
Thank you.
And we'll be back right after these words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with the show. Great seeing you. Glad you came in today.
Thank
You were a pleasant surprise.
Thank you.
You're lighting it up now, man. It's
Look at me,
awesome.
man. I'm on fire.
Yeah, you got the 5 years. You're happy.
Years,
you are
I'm
and
here, I'm
everything?
standing around.
I read Rolling Stone how tortured you are.
Oh, I'm so tortured.
Kevin, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming. Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. Thank you,
That's
Gary.
what I do a week, I
Thank
was like,
you.
This is not enough. I either have to quit
Right.
or
Jason,
do it
well,
every
that's
day.
Jason,
I like to think of good picture you found or nothing.
There's nothing. The guy, and then the guy was forgetting shit.
Yeah, right.
That I told him last
Remind me
week.
who you are again and what
There's a
you
lot of
what your
that.
problem was?
Hi, Robin. How are you, sweetie?
Good to see you.
I know,
You were
nice
so
to meet
funny
you.
today. Great.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
a lot.
Hey,
man.
Robin,
Thank
Robin.
you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good time in there today,
Yeah,
man.
that was great. Oh yeah, can't not have a good time.
Now, I know you were on during Playboy Mansion
That's
broadcast.
right.
but
A
this
long
was
time
like-
ago, that was at the Playboy Mansion, and then this is my second appearance.
So this was more conversational.
Yeah,
You
this
had a little
is-
more time to
Yeah,
get
definitely.
to know the show and everything.
Good
or
to
get to
hang
know
out.
Howard.
Good to hang out with Norm and Howard. It was awesome. Can't beat it.
That was
It was
fun, right?
fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I couldn't shut you up.
I didn't say anything.
I know.
Interrupted. Well,
I was you were supposed to be talking.
it's your time to shine. I'm just the Ed McMahon.
Not even as talented as Ed.
Norm, no matter how much time passes between appearances, you always seem to like sort of pick up where you left off with Howard.
Well, I just love Howard so much, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What gets you going?
In
What
my whole life, there's been four original things I've ever seen. Sam Kinison, David Letterman, when I was a little kid, Saturday Night Live, and Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Four original things in all of comedy that I've ever witnessed.
That's true.
So it's very, very special when I get to see Howard.
It's interesting hearing that from you because one of Howard's callers the other day said that the show has sort of come to a halt and he doesn't feel the show is the same or as good as it's been.
Oh no, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well,
Because-
how do you think the show has evolved? I mean,
I think it's evolved in the same way that Howard evolves, you know, as a person and as an entertainer, and oh hi. So he's just evolving as a human being, as a comedian. That's the fucking greatest, you know, because I come from a place where stand-ups just do the same fucking act, you know, forever, and I always try to change my act all the time. You know, but I'm not even close to Howard, man. You know, and also when a guy fucking does comedy fucking 4 hours a day, I don't know why the fuck he's not getting a comedy award. I tell you that.
because he's in a sense just improvising for 4 or 5 hours every single day,
Yeah.
4 days a week.
Yeah. Compared to a guy that fucking reads a script and pretends, what the fuck is that? That guy could not even be funny in the least. All he could do is know how to read well. You know what I mean?
So what Howard does is completely original and completely.
Yes, it's completely original. You know, a guy told me once he didn't like Howard, you know, but he said, you gotta admit, he said, I do have to admit he's original. And I said, nothing's greater than that. How fucking impossible is it to be original? You know, I wish I could be fucking original. It's like the greatest thing in the world, you know.
You are
Well, Howard
original,
seems to
Norm.
share that respect. There seems to be a very much a mutual respect between the two of you. I mean, I haven't heard him laugh that loud in quite a while.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Howard's great. You know, when Howard laughs, it's like when I first got on Letterman, and Letterman laughs. There's very few people like when they laugh at you, you're fucking happy, you know. And he always makes me happy when he laughs.
Cool, man. It's good to see you again, Norm.
You too, man.
All right, man.
Respect.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how because again that's another thing we don't really have the context for over here. The Howard Stern and how actually big that is because there's no radio or Opie and Anthony. There's never been radio like that in our country. Never. And it's obviously we don't get the Howard Stern. Oh, well, I suppose you do now online or whatever, and people probably do watch it all around the world, and probably have done for years. But it's not a like that's what I mean. Like it doesn't hold the same weight. Like people like to have Norm say that about him. That's some big compliments. And Norm's an original. He said he's not, but he is. There's no one else like Norm or gonna be like Norm. Like it's yeah, he was an original without a doubt. But I like what he said about the people with afflictions. I don't have that, but my dog does. Nala does, and it's embarrassing. That's what I was going to pause and say. They, it, because we all know when you see someone with a disability, you don't stare and you don't act as if it's any different. Do you know what I mean? Like to give them the dignity of being able to walk down the road without being gawped at or whatever. So you don't stare, you don't like make a fuss, you don't. Do you know what I mean? You know the rules. Not Nala, and it's embarrassing because it's the one thing everybody knows you're not supposed to draw attention to. And you get someone with a physical disability walking down the thing, and Nala's like, I think, "Ugh, stop being rude." Yeah, and old people she don't like, hunched over old people gets her. Yeah, embarrassing. But yeah, some great stories in this from Norm. Um, and that was such a father son moment almost when he came out of the thing and said, "Yeah, good performance. I couldn't shut you up." Like that's such a dad thing to say to a kid, to his son. Like, yeah, yeah. But he had some. I think actually the bit that I was thinking of was the bit he said about Don Rickles. I think that might have been it. Because I was saying there's definitely a bit from this that I've seen. But I also remember I must have seen a short as well of the Richard Pryor bit, unless I've seen Norm say that somewhere else. But yeah, other than that, I hadn't seen any of it, so it was definitely them two bits that I was thinking of. But yeah, some big shout outs from Norm at the end. Although the cameraman did seem to be like he was trying to get a raise there at the end. Would you say Howard's an original? Would you say Howard is the most beautiful man that's ever existed? Yeah, it was a bit like that kind of vibe from him. But Norm gives some big to say to have someone like Norm say that you're one of the few originals is a huge compliment. But like I say, it is. We don't have nothing like that, and never have. Not radio. Yeah, I don't think anywhere has anything quite like that. Quite like Howard Stern. Although I don't, I know I know the context. I know more Opie and Anthony, but I know the context of this as kind of the precursor to the Opie and Anthony show. But yeah, yeah, some like I say, some great stories from Norm. He's got a story about everyone. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.